So we just got to stick to the basketball part and do that as well as we possibly can. I think I've learned a lot about my team over these first 9 games. Um, I clearly didn't have as good a handle on them as I should have back at the start of training camp. And I wish I had because now, like we're trying to change and adjust some things with very little practice time. But I can't do anything about that now. Like I think I made some early mistakes in some of the things we did that we've had to adjust, and we'll move forward from there. And, um, you know, I can wish I had that time back, but I don't. So we just got to get better from here.
Super quick follow up. Is it a little bit like, is it fair to compare what you guys are going through to like when you're at a small college and everybody's kind of together and all you do is go to empty gyms and, eat together as a team? I mean, it's kind of got to be weird for these guys to go through stuff like that compared to, when you were coaching in a smaller.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's even stranger than that because, even in the arenas where people can go to the games, they can't see you afterwards. Like there's no meeting place to see people. I mean, it's different, man. NBA players, this is not an easy year for any of them. We're in the same boat as everybody else, though. So I'm not saying that as an excuse. I mean, we're in the same boat as everybody else, but I think that, the players, this is difficult for them, and I empathize with them, and very few people will empathize with them. I think that's one thing when you're a pro athlete and you make a lot of money, people aren't prone to empathizing with you because of the money you make, but it doesn't make the emotional part of it any less real.
Coach, this is David Grubb from the Bird Rights. To go to the on-court things against the Mavericks, they certainly have picked up their pace offensively the last few games. Luka Doncic has been playing exceptionally well, and they've also gotten a lot of contributions from their guards. How are you going to challenge Doncic and then keep them from keeping up that offensive pace that they've been showing the last 4 or 5 games?
Okay, I got it, David. We could barely hear you here, but I think I got it. About their pace and Doncic and their guards. I mean, look, I mean, that's a great perimeter. I mean, they certainly were hitting on all cylinders last night with Luca and Tim Jr. and Trey Burke. I mean, they had it rolling. They were making a lot of shots, and look, I mean, we've just it'll be another defensive challenge, and there'll be a lot of them on this trip, and we've just got to step up and do the things we do. I mean, the disappointing part of our defense to me has not been people making shots against us and stuff. It's not doing the things that we should be able to take care of. It's the fast break points we gave up in the Oklahoma City game. It's the second chance points we gave up in the Charlotte game. um, those things are things we should be able to take away. We should be able to do a pretty good job keeping the ball out of the paint. We should be able to rebound. We don't have to send people to the free throw line. We can get back defensively. If you do those things consistently well, then you'll give yourself a chance. They're going to be hard to guard. I get that. So you've got to take care of the things that you can control.
Coach, quickly, does that waning of intensity on the defensive end, has that affected the offense? Because it seemed that there were times last game where you could be clearly heard telling your team to get some tempo, to get across the half court line. Have those things on defense carried over to the attitude on offense?
Well, I don't know about that. I mean, the thing is, what's interesting, and I think our players have to understand is, I really haven't checked it since yesterday, but our offense in the last 4 games has gone up. I mean, we're in the top half of the league offensively. So our offense has gone up, but our defense has dropped. So our record was better when our defense was great and our offense was awful. If we could put the two together, if we could defend at the level we were defended at early in the year and just keep our offense even where it is now, and I think it can get a lot better, we've got a formula for being pretty good. But we're just not. I mean, I'm being honest with my team, and you guys and the fans and everything else. I mean, if we're going to be a bottom 10 defensive team, which is where we've been in the last 4 games, then we're not going to be very good. We're just not going to be very good. That's we will not score enough points to overcome the defense we've played in the last 4 games. So I think our offense is getting better. That's a good thing. Let's get our defense back and move forward.
Hey, Stan, Christian Clark, just one more time. Going back to what you just told Scott, what are some of the things you've learned about your team in training camp and in 9 games that, is just very difficult to pick up on studying them from afar?
Yeah, well, here's what here's the biggest thing, Christian. I think that this 9-game stretch has shown me is, and then if you go back to training camp, so in training camp, I learned that our team works hard and is talented and very coachable, and they put a lot into it in training camp, and we came out playing pretty good defense. What I've learned in the 9 games, particularly over the last 4, is we haven't worked long enough to ingrain those habits, and that we've got to continue doing that we can't play a good 5-game stretch defensively and think like, okay, we understand this. It has to be repeated every day, and we have to keep going after it. So I think we're capable of being really, really good defensively. I do. I know we can be great rebounding the ball, though we weren't in the Charlotte game. I think we can do those 2 things. I think we have to do those 2 things. And then, our challenges are still taking care of the ball. And part of that is our spacing and organization offensively. So today's practice was focused, on the defensive end of the floor and on offensive organization and spacing. That's what we worked on today, and hopefully we'll show some improvement on and continue to work on as we go forward.
Hey, Coach, this is Will again. I think it's fair to say that Lonzo is playing a little bit of a different role than what he was asked to do last year on both ends of the court. Just what do you think about just what he's done to adjust to what you're asking him to do, and what do you think it's going to take for him just to show a little bit more consistency on both sides of the court?
Look, I mean, defensively, I think he's got a chance to be great. I just think he's got to apply more pressure to people. Like, he doesn't get beat a lot. He's active with his hands. He's really, really smart. I would just like to see him apply some pressure on people the way people do on him. Offensively, he's a great, great passer, great court vision. I think keeping us more organized and, getting us into sets. And then I think off the ball, I think part of his shooting problems are, I tried to talk to him about the difference between when he's on the ball, handling the ball. Okay, he's a pass first guy as a point guard, which I think makes him somebody that everybody wants to play with. But when he's off the ball and say Brandon's handling or Bledsoe's handling or whatever, he's got to be shoot first. So when the ball comes to him, his first thought is to shoot it in rhythm. What I see is he's catching the ball, still thinking pass, giving his guy a chance to close. Now he's shooting all those shots off the dribble instead of in rhythm off the catch. That's the other thing we'd like him to do is be ready to shoot the ball off the ball, be a shoot first guy when other people are making plays to him.
All right. Thank you very much, Coach. Appreciate it.
Okay.